until we sit down and ask ourselves, how do we unbundle this entity, make the center less attractive? And that's what we'll be discussing constitutional amendment. What we're basically doing now is we're window dressing the problems. Oh, let's create state police, let's create more states, and the states that you already have are not viable. Right. And so you're going to create more. Nigeria belongs to nobody. Nobody owns Nigeria. So we see ourselves more. If I ask you now, then if you get to, you are looking for a job, the first thing is, what states are you from? What local government? And then, even if you meet somebody ordinarily in the course of interaction, oh, where are you from? What local government? What tribe? So we are more inclined to our, natural and cultural entity than the idea of a Nigeria. It's only when we go out of this country that we see ourselves as Nigerians. So why don't we tailor our constitution to give it that outlook, that will make it more competitive? For example, I have street lights on Awolowo Road, and I would be looking for the state government to fix them when there's a local government here. It's a responsibility. And so when you shift the responsibilities away from the government that is closest to the people, and yet we say all governance is local, what you're doing, you're making those people irresponsible. And so you reduce them to salary-paying agencies, and then you come tomorrow and say the problem is not the constitution, it is the people that operate the constitution. The constitution you have given to them have breed laziness in government, have breed ineffectiveness, so it will make it, very difficult to operate. Everybody comes, take what you can take. Nigeria is operated like an entity that is about to collapse. So go there, grab what you can grab before it collapses. And for us to reclaim or recreate Nigeria, you see, some people will tell you the unity of Nigeria is indivisible. No, it's not negotiable. No. Do you know why they say that? When you have a glutton in the family, he insists that you eat together because he knows that we eat more.
All right. You see, I like the first statement that this man made in this video, which is that until we sit down and discuss how to unbundle this entity called Nigeria, until we sit down, until everybody come, we all gather, sit down and discuss on how to unbundle this entity, that this entity is not working. It's not working. It is very clear to everybody. It is very clear to old and young, even to unborn children, that this entity is not working. What we are waiting for, I will say, is probably somebody from the West. Of course, this man is from the West. Somebody from the West that will come once again and carry up this, this news or this cross to say that, come on, we have to do something about this entity. Somebody like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from the West that will come up and pick up this cross and say, no. We have to, unbundle this entity. Now, let me ask, for those of you who believe that this entity is working, let me ask you a question. From what this man said, he said that if you go out to look for a job, if you meet somebody in the course of your interaction, the first thing they ask you is, where are you from? Where are you from? And if eventually they notice that you are not from their side, come on, that discussion wouldn't go, far as you thought. Recently, let me tell you this story. Recently, I have a brother in Nigeria, somewhere in Lagos. He was looking for a house, and he has been looking for a house. Just a couple of days ago, he called me and said, do you know that in most places that he has gone, in search of housing, in search of a house, that the first question they ask him is, where are you from? And in most places he has seen, once he said that he is Igbo, they will say, no, we don't want Igbo. In some places. So tell me now, if Nigeria is to be a working country, will this kind of question be existing within Nigeria? A Nigeria is looking for a house in Nigeria, and you are asking him, where are you from? And he told you that he's a Nigerian, and you said, no, I can't give you a house because you're a Nigerian. Does that make sense? That will tell you simply that Nigeria is not working. It's not. This reminds me of then, a couple of years ago, that time they were doing this voters card stuff. Yes, that's about, I think, good luck era time, Abi. Then, when they were doing voters card, I was still in Nigeria then. So, I wanted to go and get my NIN somewhere where I was living then. Did you know? They snapped me actually, and unfortunately, that side was majorly Yorubas. Yes, they snapped me, and the day we are meant to come and collect the voters card, I went there. It was hell. I couldn't collect my voters card because I'm Igbo. So when I got there, we queue online, and when it was my turn, they started with Kilo Luke. I didn't even know what they were saying then. What is your name? I couldn't know. I said, me, I know here Yoruba, or Yoruba. I said, okay, wait, go one side. Now, I'm not trying to condemn our people from the West, but the only thing or the point I'm making here is that this entity is not working. There's no unity, and therefore, there can never be growth. There can never be growth. People from the West are doing their own. Oh, people from the East are doing their own too. They are doing their own. So tell me how this entity can work. Tell me, who will make it work? Your Messiah, Peter Obi, or your Messiah Atiku? Who? Is it good luck to come back? Holy Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to allow you now to hear what our brother from the West said, because indeed he said a lot. But as I said, we're only waiting for the person that will come up to carry the cross once again. I don't know what is wrong with our other brother, Sunday Boo. I don't know why he has, should I say, gone back to exile. Anyway, please listen to this man. Then you do well to drop your comment in the comment section what you think about this. But one thing I want you to know is that it is very clear. Of course, you watching this, if you have been true to yourself, you will know that this entity is not working. Then the question is, what are we going to do? Please do well to drop your comment in the comment section.
So why don't we tailor our constitution to give it that outlook, that will make it more competitive? For example, I have street lights on Awolowo Road, and I would be looking for the state government to fix them when there's a local government here. It's a responsibility. And so when you shift the responsibilities away from the government that is closest to the people, and yet we say all governance is local, what you're doing, you're making those people irresponsible. And so you reduce them to salary paying agencies, and then you come tomorrow and say the problem is not the constitution, it is the people that operate the constitution. The constitution you have given to them have breed laziness in government, have breed ineffectiveness, so it will make it, very difficult to operate. Everybody comes, take what you can take. Nigeria is operated like an entity that is about to collapse. So go there, grab what you can grab before it collapses. And for us to reclaim or recreate Nigeria, you see, some people will tell you the unity of Nigeria is indivisible. No, it's not negotiable. No. Do you know why they say that? When you have a glutton in the family, he insists that you eat together because he knows that he will eat more. So some persons believe you have derivation, you have revenue sharing. So how do we share revenue? Well, let's use population. Let's use land mass. So some people believe that they have more population, they have land mass. Just be procreating, money will come. And then, where are the Almajiris that my age mates today? Those Almajiris of the 70s, early 70s, where are they today? No sellable skills, no education. And so they are pushed back into the society. The local government that is supposed to care for them, is salary paying agents. So it is not just the people. Your constitution is defective. The earlier we sit down and say, if governance is local, why don't we create a government, an effective government that is local, that will take care of those local responsibilities, and not just window dressing. If you create state police, already we have state police. Last man is state police. Almost every state in the south is replicating state traffic management. How effective are they? Because the money to pay salaries is not there.
So if I even hear what you're even saying, you're speaking more to the fact that the constitution that we have existent it's even hard to completely abide by what is in there. So my question to you now is, if that's the case, what are the odds that if there's a constitutional review, that would equally be followed? One of our biggest issues is abiding by the rule of law.
Do you know why it will be followed? I talked about our uniformity and similarity. For example, I don't share the same ideologies with certain persons in Nigeria. We don't share the same cultural ideology, political ideology, religious ideology, and yet we are operating under the same revenue sharing, under the same laws. And if you, I'm not talking about just, what do you call it now, for lack of a better word, I'm not saying that Nigeria should be divided and everybody should go their own way. What I am saying is that this constitution, we should find a way of truly operating a federal structure where the local government and the states will be more effective, generate revenue, use those revenues to take care of their entity and environment, and then pay taxes to the center the way it was in the First Republic. University of Ife, Obafemi Awolowo University, was built from cocoa fund. But now that we have oil, we still cannot build a university as massive and as wide as that. The Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, the largest university south of the Sahara, was built from funds from pyramids of granites. And it was competitive because the entity was easier, smaller to manage. If you have a smaller, let's say, and in their wisdom, the founders of the First Republic, Alex Ekweme and co., when they came together and formed the G27, they sat down and said, how do we ensure that the country is easier to manage? They created 6 geopolitical zones. You have this northeast, you have north central, you have northwest, you have southeast, southwest, and south-south. So if you govern Nigeria along these geopolitical zones, instead of everybody going to Abuja every Monday to share revenue, to look for contract, you govern. So I wouldn't need to go to Abuja. I would face either the southwest headquarters, or face the south-south headquarters, or face the southeast headquarters. So when we're talking about the election, nobody will want to kill to get to the center because it will be attractive. And so the average south-south person will be more interested in the development of the south-south because the funds will come from there, the funds will be generated from there, and the people that will manage the fund will be there, and not everybody going to Abuja. Do you know why we waste funds in Nigeria? Because you generate funds from one region, and then you take it to Abuja, you are sharing to another region. It gets there, the man who is there does not even know how that fund is generated.
Right. I mean, this is your conversation about this revenue sharing formula among states. It's not unique. It's not the first time we're hearing. I mean, we're hearing from a lawyer like you. We've heard from statesmen calling for this sort of, amendment in the Constitution. Now, why do you believe it's falling on deaf ears?
Because, like I said, when you have a glutton in the family, he will insist that you eat together. Remember, in the Goodluck Jonathan's constitutional amendment, constitutional conference, the issue that they all agreed on a lot of issues. The moment the issue of fiscal federalism, was tabled, then that was when you now saw some people talking about 13%, 70% and 30%. That divided, the entire house. And that was why they could not, in your intro, they could not achieve anything with that amendment because some people are rent takers. Every day they come to Abuja. So if you now say, look, this revenue can no longer be coming to Abuja, let everybody go to their region, generate the revenue, develop your region, then you have completely taken them out of business. All of these senators and House of Rep big cars, you won't see it. Now we are creating, to tell you that we need regional government. Go back to the 1963 Constitution. We are creating regional development commissions. Where's the fund going to come from? The same budget that governors are complaining, the same federal government is creating regional development commissions. You create one, if you build a road, the federal government builds a road in the south-south, The Northeast will also request for their road. The Northwest will request for theirs. The Southeast will request for theirs. So why do you need all of this replication when they can all, there'll be competition. So when they can all generate the revenue, and sunlight, the Chinese are selling sunlight, and we have it in abundance in the north. Because there is money coming from oil, nobody is thinking, nobody is bothered. Money will come. But
let me come in if you don't mind, because I'm slightly worried about the tone, the beat of the tone that you have used, and I'm saying that given what Oji asked about why the previous attempts have not worked. The initial question I was going to ask you was, why is the Constitution review advocacy appear to be a Southern Nigerian agenda and does not have so much excitement from the North? And the reason why that question is now very germane, will be because of the words that you have used. Gluten in the house, rent seekers and things like that, those who assume that they have more land and they have more population. If that is the perception from the northern part of Nigeria, particularly the core north, don't you see that that's why it is unlikely that this project will fly? Because they can sense from the beginning that, this thing is targeted at us.
No, that's why I'm saying that there is so much natural resources spread across the length and breadth of Nigeria, not just oil. People, while federal government is killing and killing people in South Sudan because of oil, some others are just taking our gold away in Zamfara, lead in Plateau, in Nasarawa, illegal miners. And then I talk about sunlight in the north. There is so much in Nigeria that if only we sit down to think and tell ourselves, you know what? There's no need just relying on resources from one end. Let us go back. Now, all of this fight over Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu will not be there. Because you won't want to carry the burden of Nigeria when you can carry the burden of your region, generate revenue, and, make it right. But the challenge is because some people have been so brainwashed to believe that, look, if this thing is targeted at us, not them, but not the people, but them, the rent collectors, who use the resources meant for an entire region to enrich themselves. I talked about Boko Haram, Al-Majiri's banditry. These same people are suffering the same poverty that the man in Lagos is suffering. The area boy in Lagos is suffering. He's suffering the same poverty that the Agbero in Onitsha is suffering. Poverty does not know tribe. But the people who ordinarily should rescue the everyday person is consistently brainwashing them. Let me also tell you, do you know why the campaign is loud here?
Yes.
As a young boy, I read both Bible knowledge and IROK. So I understand that Islam is not meant for what some people are using it for. But in some part of the north, they consistently brainwash them right from the beginning that, look, Islam is this, Islam is that. Meanwhile, those people that are telling you that religion should come first, they are not upholding those tenets that they preach, because they use it to consistently oppress the people. So when money comes, they collect and tell you, God will give you.
Isn't that what all
so now you also see it in the South, custodians of religion. And do you know why religion today is so prevalent in our society? Because it has taken over the functions of government. If you travel out of this place, you go to other countries. I don't want to use developing. Your prayer point will change because the local governance in those places is effective and functional. But here, because the nature abhors vacuum. So in the absence of those things that government should give you, government at the local level should give you, You see somebody will come and tell you religion will give you, God will give you this. So instead of pushing and insisting that government should provide good road, you are looking for blood of Jesus to provide safety for you. Because our priorities are upside down.
Nigeria constitution need to be taken down and rewrite it again to serve this generation. The type of constitution that says if you encourage your brother that is doing good, you are going to jail. Such constitution need to be taken down. This guy you see here has been in prison for over how many months now? His crime is because he supported Ibrahim Traore in what he's doing. But it's not a crime for Tinubu to travel from here to France to collide with the France president. It's not a crime for Tinubu to travel from here to go and take medication in France. But when you support your own brother, your own blood brother, it will become a crime in the constitution of Nigeria. Such constitution need to be taken down and rewrite it to serve this generation. Because I don't think that Africans are the one that are writing that constitution. Maybe the white man write it for Africans. We, ourselves, we have to travel from here to Ghana to go and support Ibrahim Traore. Because had it been that we exercise that right in Nigeria here, by now we would have been in prison. So we have to travel from here to Ghana, where constitutional right of a citizen is protected. So there is a problem that nobody knows. Such constitution should not be in existence. That when you support your brother, you go to hell, you go to jail. Oh no. But it is not a crime for Tinubu to go to France and take medication. To go to France. Until politicians begin to keep us in one place, in one stone, and slaughter us one after another, we will never see it as a problem. Nigerian youth, we need to wake up. This Africa that is controlled by France is not our own Africa.
All right. So, after seeing this, what do you think? Well, drop your comment in the comment section, all right? I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you.